So, actually, let me unplug this. I'm actually testing out a new product, and we're going to test it in a second here. My glasses on. I need to go to my channel. I want to see what it looks like live. Okay, yeah. Oops. Alright, so if I sit back, I'm experimenting with the P01 auto face tracker. It's a tracking device. And this is it right here. Let me zoom in. That should do it. Now I have it on vertical instead of horizontal. Okay, it's following me. It's following my face, that's what I want it to do. Now this tracking device sits on top of the tripod. Like this. This tracking device sits on top of the tripod that I have. The giant stand. And hold on, let me put my face right on it. Huh. I'm trying to get it in camera frame. I guess I gotta zoom out a little bit. That's weird. There it is. It lost me because I kept blocking the view of it. So, I know what I'll do. Excuse me, guys. I'll zoom back out a little bit. I zoomed in a little too much. That's a little better. Okay, so this is the device right here. Now this portion right up here holds your phone, and this portion goes onto the stand. And it comes with a little stand. What's happening? Sub 3 grand. What's that say? Alright, Super 3 Gam Goblin. I don't know. I'm going to call you Goblin. How's that? It's so much easier. So this device comes with the stand. I have the stand on my tripod, and it's a tracking device. It'll track me. It'll follow wherever my face goes. It'll constantly track me. I roll back and forth, whatever I'm doing, it tracks me. But if you put something in front of you, the tracker will get thrown off. So I'm looking for a tracking device that will follow my hands, because that's usually what I want it to follow. But this is pretty cool because I'm able to not have to worry about moving the phone around or anything. I can work on projects, and it'll stay focused on me while I'm talking to you. Now I'm looking at the YouTube live right now, and I can see your comments. I'm looking at the computer in front of me. I'm not looking at the camera, and that's kind of how it'll be when I'm sculpting. I'll have to zoom out more so you can see what I'm working on, or I'll angle the camera. In other words, I'll have the camera back behind me a little bit so it's catching my face and whatever I'm working on. As a matter of fact, let's test that. Let's test that because I want to see if, oops, I gotta unplug this first. Let's see how that works. All right, so it's following me so far, so good. Let's pretend. Yeah. Now I'll have it in horizontal, not horizontal, vertical mode. This way you'll see. So it's not. What's it? Why is it not? I guess it's not. Lost my track. So I have to follow something else. You know what? I need to change this so it's horizontal. What's happening? I'm gonna fill you guys in on what's going on with my my projects, my Ultra. There's been a little delay, and I'll explain. Now, yeah, see, if I put my sculpture like right here and work on it, have it angled back at you, you'll be able to see it in frame. I just have to make sure that the camera is in a specific position. So it's because it only follows your face. I can't get it to follow my hands. I wish that would be great. And I can zoom in and everything like what I'm working on. But this is 360 degrees. This will follow me in a circle. It's really cool. Nice device. And what's nice is it doesn't need an app. That's the big thing I don't like about, like I had the, what's the name of that thing? Anyway, I had this other thing where you had to, it was a DJI. You had to use you couldn't go live with it. It was useless going live because you had to use their app and you had to record, and basically you could only record with those tools. It wasn't good for live application. But this is not required to have any no app on the phone or anything. The tracking device is on its own. It's right underneath your camera, and all that's doing is just tracking you, and you don't have to worry about. You can be on any source, any platform. You don't have to worry about. You don't have to worry about an application interfering with your live stream. So, all right. So let's fill you in on what's going on. I've made multiple masks. Now, since this thing will track me, which is cool, I will show you guys what I've been dealing with my, okay. This is the 24 and a half inch. All right. Let me just put it on. Now, here's the problem. This mask is perfect 24 inches in circumference, right above the eyebrows, 24 and a half inch. Right above the eyebrows, it's 24 and a half inch. Am I in frame with this? And then if you go back over top of the ear and to the furthest peak of the back of the head, it's 24 and a half inches. The problem is the screen used mask has a much shorter chin than the Ed head. I sculpted this originally on an Ed head, and the Ed head has a much longer face, all right? So when I made the hollow casting in clay, I shortened the jaw to match the screen accurate mask. I shortened the, I brought the chin up. I cut away from underneath the ear, and that's how I had to get this to look right. Otherwise, the face looked too long. My point of this whole thing is, if you have a longer head, and how you have to measure, I'll show you right here. The very peak of the head, all right, is about right here, and you want to take your tape measure and you want to go right across the nose, down across the lips, and then right up underneath of the chin, all right, right there. From there up to the very peak of the head. That's your measurement. On the small mask, it's 14 inches. On the large mask, it's 15 inches. If your head is, I'll say, under that distance, if your head is under 14 inches, this mask will fit you fine. If it's any bigger, if that distance is any longer than 14 inches, I recommend getting the larger mask. Although the diameter on the larger mask is a little, it's what was it? It's 25 and a half inches, the diameter, instead of 24 and a half inches. It's an inch bigger. But what's really nice about that is the fact that your eyes are now sunk back into the head a little further. So you don't see your eyes in the mask once this is painted. So if you guys decide to order a mask from me, make sure that your distance from the peak of your head right here, I'm going to say on this head here, is about right there, is about the peak of the head. And that's where it'll be on anybody's head. You can almost feel your high point on the top of your head with no problem. You just take your tape, put it on there, and what I'm talking about is this kind of tape. You need you don't want a metal tape. You need a fabric tape like this. All right, and what I would do is I feel that center, I bring that tape right down, and I measure right underneath the chin, right where it comes into my neck. Now I got a little flab underneath it here, so I'm going to push up on it a little bit to ignore the flab. Right there, that's where my throat starts. And that measurement on me is 14 and a half inches. So I need the 15 inches to make, and it fits me perfect. Now I'll put this on, and I'm going to show you, it stretches the mask and makes the eye cuts look weird. One thing about the Nick Castle stretch looked kind of cool on the original mask, but this is a flashback mask. It's not exactly made to look like the original Captain Kirk Shatner mask. So let me put this on and I'll show you how it stretches. Now it fits. Here, it's still tight. It's tight on you. Alright? But look what it's doing to the eyes. It looks weird. Alright? It's also stretching in the jaw. It's just too tight. Too tight. 24 and a half inches is too tight on me. Although, my head circumference, when I measure my head circumference, and I can feel the peak of back of my head, right over top of my scowl, is only 22 inches. So I should have more room here, but here's what happened. When I made my Ultra, I narrowed the jawline. Alright? And that kind of puts pressure on this part of my face all the way out. And as you can see the shape of my head, it's more narrow up top and it widens out down here. Egghead. So these are important to get these measurements right, because if you don't do them right, you won't have a mask that fits you well. And you want the right mask. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to grab the 25 and a half inch mask. And show you, I'm going to put them side by side and show you what they look like, different size. And they are different. So as you can see, I have mask done here, and I got some more news. Oh, it's not following me. Interesting. What happened? Is it on? Should be. There it goes. I don't know why it cut off, but it cut off for some reason. It's supposed to follow me. Okay, so as you can see, I have, this is the master copy that's foam filled. This produces the small mask. This doesn't make, this is a small mask here. This doesn't make the 26-inch mask, which I'm going to get into in a minute. This is a pull from the master mold that came off the clay. And this is a 25.5-inch mask. All right. Now this one, and this is crooked. Why? Oh, I know why. The stand is crooked. Okay, so this one here fits me perfect, and it doesn't. But you can see how my eyes are more sunken into the back of the head. You can't see my eyes, but my chin is right there. My chin is right here. Fits perfect. All right. It sits on my head perfect. Now this mask doesn't look good until it's painted. Trust me, it's not going to look good until it's painted. Why does this tracker keep cutting off? Let me try this. I don't know what it's doing, but it keeps cutting off on its own. So that's the large mask. And this is the small mask. I'm going to try and line them up so they're a little bit. You get the gist. It's only like an inch, it's like an inch smaller, but an inch everywhere, not just like length and diameter and all that stuff. It's an inch smaller all around. Now I have one guy that's Raphael, if you're out there, I appreciate your work. He wants to order both masks. One he's going to use for display, the other one he's probably going to use for wearing. Now, another thing I'm going to tell you right now, my mask I'm selling for $450. I'm not going $600. I'm not going to. They're $450 when you buy them directly from me. No higher than that. That's I can't really go much lower either. Trust me, with all the work that goes into them. So that's my price for my mask is $450. Let me see what else we done. What else? Okay. So because that master mold over here, follow me. Because this master mold only produces, when I stone that, right, what happens is I'll stone this master mold. Can you guys see that in frame? No, you're not seeing this thing in frame. All right, so this is the master mold. And it's foam filled. This, when I stone it, and then I put latex in that stone, makes the 24.5-inch mask. So I need an exact replica of this, not this, because this shrinks. See, when I put this in the master mold that came directly from the clay, this shrunk from 20. What would it go from? 26 down to 25. And then when you put the latex in it, well, actually no, it was 20. It was 26 and a half. This shrunk down. This head is 26 and a half inches diameter. All right, this foam head. It's either 26 or 26 and a half. I forget. I didn't measure it lately. So, and they shrink up more because it's a very thick pool. So what happens is I put the stone over the 26 and a half, and I end up with a 24 and a half inch mold that makes a 24 and a half inch mask. So what I need to do, which I already ordered, and it should either come today or tomorrow, and this is why I haven't been live, because I've been dealing with, oh shit, what do I do about this situation? I need the larger mask, more so than I think I need the smaller one. I think the smaller one is going to be less sold, and it's not going to be sold as much, because I think a lot of people, that measurement that I just revealed from underneath the chin to the neck, to the very peak of your head with the tape I just showed you on the video. You have to look it back if you're just joining me. Shows you how to measure it properly. That distance needs to be under 14 inches. From there to there, across your nose, has to be under 14 inches for you to wear the small mask. All right, now, let me show you the stone mold. That I have to paste wax, and of course this thing shut off again. It's all right, you didn't need to see me that way anyway. I don't know why this is doing this. Maybe the battery's not charged all the way. There it goes. Okay. So, let me back up. This is the 26-inch master. This came right off the clay. So this is the exact same size as the clay sculpture. All right. Now what I have to do is I'm going to make a urethane copy of this. And how you do that is I'm going to end up destroying this mold. And what will happen is inside this mold I have to put this stuff called paste wax. It is designed for mold release. Now there's another spray that comes. This paste wax I got from a company that's no longer, I think the company's still in existence, but the provider that I got it from, they went out of business. But this is paste wax, and you put that all over inside the stone, on the inside surface, to seal it. And then you're going to spray another release when it comes. I have some more release coming. But you have to paste wax it because you need to fill that porous surface so it doesn't, I'm going to make a urethane master copy. And I ordered from Smooth On a urethane rubber that is brushable. So I'll brush it on the inside to grab all the details. I'll thicken it a little bit. I'll add like 2-3 coats of it onto into the mask. All right, it's flexible enough to where you can pull it out. All right, and I have to do a little testing on it because I need that flexibility. If I don't have the flexibility, I won't be able to pull that master out of there. Doesn't matter. Here's the thing. It'll release from the stone because of the paste and the release agent that gets sprayed on the inside. If I have to get that, if I have to get it out of there and I'm having a hard time getting it out, all I have to do is smash the mold. I'll just break the mold up and then just take the mother master. But that'll be concerning because then I'll probably have to make a 2-part mold, because if I make a master copy on stone, on that urethane copy, I'm probably going to have to smash that mold, which would be pointless because then you're not making a mold, you're just wasting the material. Anyway, but I have a little secret to that, and I'm going to show you. Whenever you're making a mold, when you foam fill these, all right, you see this is the master copy that came from that mold, the one that I'm showing you that I'm going to seal. This is what came out of that, and that gives you the large mask. Now, when you foam fill this, you have to do it while it's inside the mold and it's somewhat cured, the latex. All right, same principle. I'm going to foam fill that master copy. But notice, see how I have a cord here? I have a cord out. The reason why is because then I can squish it to get it out of the mold. My concern with the urethane rubber is it's a little stiffer, it's a little harder. How hard is it going to be to get out of that mold? All right, so I'm working all these little problems that you guys are not aware of, especially with mask making. And I'm not a professional at this. I'm becoming a professional because I keep making mistakes and learning from my mistakes. I'm going to read your comments in a minute, guys. You got a ton of them over there, but the computers are far away and it's too far. I don't have my glasses on. I was putting on the mask. I can't see the comments from here. So I'm going to read your comments in a minute. So you want to core out that center of that foam. Now, if the urethane rubber is stiffer, I might have to core it out more. I might have to take more of this foam out so I can bend that urethane rubber to get it out of that mold. Either way, I'm going to get it out of that mold. Even if I have to take all the foam out of it, I don't care. But if I have to take all the foam out of it, I'm not worried about it. Because it'll be self-supporting. The key to this is the reason why you want it somewhat stiff is because when you put stone on this, all right, the trick is you put a very thin coat of stone, your first layer. And then what happens is once that layer is hard, after about 15 minutes, the mask is no longer supporting the stone. The stone supports the stone. Does that make sense? In other words, if I put a ton of wet plaster on this head, it'll probably cave it in or deform the neck or something. So what you do is you put thin layers. Your first 2-3 coats are very thin layers of plaster. Then the stone becomes the supportive shell because there's no longer pressure on because like if the stone's down across the head and sitting on top of whatever you have it on top of, all right, in this case I have it on top of this here. And what happens is that weight is all being distributed onto the surface of what it's on. So you don't have to worry about the mask collapsing at that point. There's little tricks and little secrets that you learn as you go because you make the mistakes, and man, I'm telling you, there's a lot of them to be made. And some people would be like, why are you showing all these secrets? I never reveal secrets that somebody showed me out of respect. The only secrets I reveal on YouTube are the ones that I learned the hard way myself. And I'm sorry, I'm doing this also for the channel and also for people to get encouraged to get into this because it's fun, man. If you can sculpt and if you're an artist, it is really fun. I didn't know how fun this really was until I really got sunken into these projects. But anyway, I got my urethane coming either today or tomorrow. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to give it one good blast out, make sure there's nothing, no debris or anything inside there because it's been sitting upright and drying out extra, been extra careful. I'm putting the fan on it and make sure it stays nice and dry. And then I'm going to paste wax this and then put the urethane rubber inside of this. Now it's brushable, so it just gets brushed up onto the surface and it's just like the latex. The latex, you pour it in there and then you pour it back out and that's what you have. But urethane's a lot different. But urethane doesn't shrink. That's the key right there. The whole point of this is I don't want it to shrink, and urethane rubber doesn't shrink. So what you want is you want your urethane rubber to capture the original size of your sculpture. Then I can make stone molds out of that and give you a 25.5-inch mask. There's always shrinkage, even if it's 26. Like this master, it says it's 26 inches. It's either, no, I think it's 26. It is 26 inches. I did measure that original sculpture. That's why I put it on there. So, let's put this back over where it was, under the fan. Sorry, don't mind my booty. That shit is heavy. I've got my master sitting on the floor, and I'm just waiting on the urethane now. So, anyway, I think I covered everything I was going to cover. But I won't sell anybody a mask without knowing their measurement. You have to know your that distance. You have to know that so I always put foam inside of these so it doesn't deform. All right. See how it's got a foam head on the inside. I have a ton of these foam pieces from when I did backfills on some of the old masks. I took the foam piece out and I was able to cut the top off, and it fits inside there perfect. Look at that. Look at that. That's perfect. It makes it look good. Look at the face. I mean, this is very accurate looking as far as the flashback goes. And you guys can't really capture this on film yet. You will once I get it painted. Once this is painted in here, that's going to change the whole dynamics of what this mask looks like. No doubt about it. So, yeah, I wanted to cover, I like the idea that I can now walk around and the camera will follow me if I can figure out why it keeps shutting off. That's a whole other problem. I don't know why that's doing it. Maybe if I don't move at all for a period of time, the sensor shuts down. Okay, so I'm very excited for okay, what do we got? Super 3, how many people are on with? Oh my God, I got 13 people on. Nobody's commenting. Now put your comments up because I'm reading comments, guys. So go ahead and comment away. Ask any questions you want. I should have the what do you call it? This mask in full production by next week. Hopefully I have this. The urethane rubber has to cure for 16 hours. I got my chair here. I'm trying to get closer to the computer. I got to revamp this studio big time. There's so much stuff that still has to come out of here. I have stuff in here everywhere. It looks so messy because I just don't have any space to put anything down. If I did a whole thing around panoramic vision of this, there's not a spot on a shelf that's empty. And it's driving me crazy because I have no place to put things. So the next thing I'm going to do is I have a shop out back and I'm probably going to put a lot of my stuff into the back shop and then keep what I need in here the most. That's the plan. Stuff that I use all the time, I'll keep in here, and everything that I don't use all the time will go out there. And the only thing that does have to stay, things that do have to stay in here are any kind of paints, any kind of liquids, because I can't have them susceptible to heat and cold, because they can freeze. All right, what's going on? Alice. Faking? I'm not sure what you mean there. Faking. Tracking working good now. Yeah, the tracking is pretty nice. I like that tracking. I think it's shut off again. I'll know in a minute. No, still on. Still on. Okay. See, I got the computers. You can see on the screen there. Let me lean forward. I can see your comments right here. You see all your comments. That's what I'm looking at. I'm not looking at the camera. be like my bald head. I hate hair. The older you get, the more you don't give a shit. That's why I wear hats. Less maintenance. That's it, baby. That's the look. Funky, ain't it? So also I've been doing something else lately. I don't even know where to put shit. Don't even know where to put stuff anymore at this point. I've been working with, I'm also a disc jockey, and I've been working with a lot of AI lately. And let me show you something. Maybe the camera will pick it up, and hopefully it picks it up so you can hear it pretty good. All right, it's following me. I want to turn the fan off. There, less noise. That's what we want. I've been creating drops and stuff for my website. I still haven't written anything out the way I want to yet for the website, but I've been using a lot of AI, learning how to use AI. That's a task in itself, especially for a guy that's 63 years old. Us old folks don't know how to do a lot of high-tech stuff, but I'm getting there. I'm getting there. I'm no dummy. I figure things out pretty quick. But I'm just not the best speller in the world. I don't spell very well. Mathematics and spelling are my weakness. And it has a lot to do with, like, I just think that people that are artists, they really are heavily dependent on their art ability. Favorite scene in Halloween? Favorite scene in Halloween? The original Halloween, I'm going to say, was two scenes. When Bob gets stabbed to the wall, and when he opens up the door and he reveals, he fakes like he's Bob, and he's in a ghost sheet. That was cool. That was cool. Second favorite scene that falls second in this scenario. Second and third, I would say the scene where he's looking at Lori outside the school from behind the car. And a lot of people miss that. I don't know if you guys watch. Do you guys ever watch reaction videos, people seeing movies for the first time? Sometimes I don't believe that that's true, but that's besides the point. You can tell by the way they react. You can tell that they've seen it before and they're lying. But reaction videos are pretty funny sometimes. And most people never catch that. That's how I usually tell when somebody is faking or it's realistic. People don't see Michael Myers behind the car in that scene where she's in the classroom looking out the window, seeing Michael behind the car. Sometimes they don't see it, and they don't realize it, and all of a sudden they'll see it again, and they'll go, "Oh my God, I didn't realize he was standing there." So that was a cool scene. I thought that was clever. There was another scene that I liked too. What was it? Come on, think. Brain dead. Brain dead. Can you guys hear me okay? Thumbs up if you can hear me okay. What was that scene? Bob. Yeah, Bob, and it was the ghost. And let me see. Then we had second runner-up for me is the scene outside the classroom window. There was another scene. Damn. I can't remember. If it comes to me, I'll let you know. DP24. Okay, I just revealed. You're going to have to watch this video again because I'd have to go over everything that I just covered. I'll upload this video. It's not going to be very long. I covered what's going on with the mask. I covered the new tracking device that I have, that I'm using now, that's following me. If you look at if it didn't shut off again. Hold on, it might have shut. Nope, it's still working. You see the tracker that's on the phone now? It tracks me, and I can use it in live application. I love this tracking device. I don't know why it's cutting off, but it did a couple times. But anyway, yeah, so, and I'm also covering some AI. I've been working with AI a little bit, musically, and I'm creating drops with AI that I plan on using for the website. And let me let you hear one.
Corpses. DJ Styles has created a mass.
I'm going to back it up one time.
Welcome to Custom Corpses.
I'm going to back it up one
DJ Styles has created a masterpiece. The Ultra Flashback Michael Myers mask, called the Ultra FB78. The sculpture has been retooled countless times to try and get it as screen accurate as possible. Every detail has not been overlooked. He painstakingly sculpted to give you the most accurate flashback mask as possible. From the opening scene in the movie Halloween, kills, you will have so much fun scaring those trick-or-treaters this Halloween. And for those of you collectors that want Michael to stare at you from your display case, he will not disappoint and put a chill up your spine. Remember, Michael Myers is always watching you. Welcome to Custom. Is always watching you.
Now, hopefully you guys didn't get a lot of feedback. Did you guys get feedback when that happened? Because you're hearing two sources. You're hearing the live source and then the delayed source. Yeah, Thorburn, the reason why it's on there, it's going to be on the website as you're scrolling through the website. It can be long. It can be long because it's not going to be attached to anything. It's going to be just an introduction. That's all it is, and it just plays as you're looking at pictures. You know, that's how it's going to be. Now, for any of you guys, and I know I already have 2 masks sold, and I don't even have it made yet. And that's Raphael. He's buying 2 masks from me. And I'm going to tell you right now, you guys that have just joined me, I have lowered my price. My price is going to be $450 for my mask. It's not $600. I'm not charging that kind of money. That's crazy. I think it's too high. At $450, I'm making good profit. And I don't need to get... I'd rather sell more at a lower price than sell less at a high price. You know, so... yeah, that's going to be the introduction. It just explains, you know, the creation of the ultra flashback. And I mean, I have quite a few. I have like I did one for Takeoff Vision. Takeoff Vision, or I don't know if he's in the house. I got a Pipe Master. Trying to remember what I put on here. I don't know. I don't want to be. This is Takeoff Visions. Now, the reason why I want you guys to hear this is because any one of you guys, anyone that buys a mask, and this is why I'm showing you this AI stuff that I'm doing. Anyone that buys a mask gets a little 2-minute, 3-minute song with your name in it, and I'm going to put it in a little flash drive or something, or I'll email it to you, and you can have it, or I'll send it to you through Facebook or whatever, however I can send it to you, and you can put it, I don't know, in your videos. If you do a video of wearing the mask, especially Halloween, I think it's an ultimate thank you for you guys. Anybody that purchases a mask, anybody that gets a free mask, they get this little video music. And also, you can choose what music style you like, whether it be rock, dance, funk, disco, whatever style you like. I can do any style, country, and I think that's really cool, so you can actually use this AI as an introduction to, like, if you're on your video channel, or you're on your YouTube channel and you want to show off the mask, and you can put that music behind there, and it'd be really cool. So I'm always thinking outside the box, but that's my nature, guys. That's always been my nature all through my life. I'm always thinking outside the box, and that's where all magic happens. Remember that going forward. Never stay in your box. Never stay in your safe zone. Got to go outside that box, man, because that's where all the magic happens. That's where your inventive, your creation comes into play. And it wasn't like I came up with this idea. I was shown something, and I was like, oh my God, I can do this, I can do that, I can do all this different crazy stuff with using AI. And it just opens up your eyes. Every time you learn a little something, it can flourish into so much more. So remember that going forward. Every time you learn a little trick here and there, unless it's hot chicks, is that what you meant to put instead of an L? Yeah, I figured. Thorburn. Well, that's your problem, buddy. I don't know. I don't have that problem. I'm too old and I'm married, so I don't have to worry about chicks anymore. That's that's a thing of the past. Who needs the drama, right? But yeah, I can do like if you're doing a video clip on YouTube and you're just trying to show off your mask and you don't want to talk, you can have that mask or your song, AI generated song to customize, because that was Pipe. Let me see, what did I do for Pipe Master? Let's see what Pipe Master's is. Let's check his out. Before I do that, Pipe Master, I know he's a big metalhead. He loves heavy metal. So here we go. Pipe Master, I know he's a big metalhead. said FB78, blah blah blah. You know, FB whatever it was, Ultra. Yeah, it says FB Ultra. But yeah, this is what I'm saying. I'm going to make these custom songs that you can use on your channel. That'd be cool. And I also going to encourage people to use it this coming Halloween. If you have even my old mask, I want you to use that sound drop over your videos, because that also helps promote what I'm doing. It puts you on the map. Every little thing that you can do to promote is key to getting people. Yeah, well, the problem is now with the AI stuff is everything's original. You cannot use anything copyrighted. I can't use another artist. I can't like put, if it was disco soul or something like that, I can't use Barry White. I can't use Ozzy Osbourne. You can't use their vocals. That's copyright infringement. This is all generated with original through the software with the voices that are provided. The songs are all laid out. It doesn't copy anybody's. It's all copyright free. So that's the nice thing about it. You know, as long as you're writing it, you can't. And that's another thing you can't do is you can't write out a song that already exists. That's like, say, if I took one of Ozzy Osbourne's songs and I wrote out all the lyrics in this, you know, put the chorus, the breakdowns, the intro, the outro, all that fun stuff. If I did that and I used his lyrics, they would slam that door shut fast. You wouldn't be able to use it. They wouldn't even let you do it. It shuts you down. You guys ever get this, man? This stuff works great. It's called Boom Boom Nasal Stick. And man, it really clears your sinuses. I love it. I'm shaking it up. And I got it on Amazon. Deep breath. Woo, baby, that clears you right the hell out. It's like menthol. Ooh, man, that opens up your, even made my ears pop. Okay, chicks. Yeah, copyright, forget it. You're not gonna, hold on, I gotta increase the size. Well, I'm just trying to show you that. That's all I was doing, was showing you that. So, my plan is to give you guys, anybody that buys a mask or anybody that, you know, got a free mask, your guys are going to get a song about you and your mask. Thorburn, yes. Well, I haven't yet. I just, like, if you back this video up once I post it, you got to watch it from the beginning because it does have a lot of good information in it. What you want to do, I'm waiting on my urethane rubber to come. It's either coming today or it's coming tomorrow. I only got a gallon kit. I don't need anything more than that. And what I'm doing is I'm going to urethane the master mold that came off the clay. So it will give me a urethane master copy, foam filled, that's exactly the same size as the clay sculpture. And that will be the large mask. Now, the reason why I'm using urethane rubber is because urethane does not shrink. It's like fractions of a very small. There is a little tiny shrinkage, but nothing that's even noticeable. So that's the reason why I went with urethane, to urethane the inside of that master mold. But what it does do, is it destroys the mold in the process. So I have to get it right, man. I can't mess up. Because once that mold is done, it's done. Actually, that's not true. If I needed to, like if the urethane mold came out and it had bubbles in it or something, it wasn't perfect, I could always cast more urethane in that master. And that's why I always keep the mold, just in case that like the first try at putting the urethane inside that mold doesn't work. I'll just recoat it again with paste wax and put the release agent in there, and then I'll put more urethane in it to capture it. And that should give us a really beautiful mask. Now, I'm still waiting on it. It's either coming today or tomorrow, possibly. Sorry for nose itches, because I just put that stuff in my nose. Ooh. Man, it's like getting a breath of fresh air. Every time I do that, man, it feels good. Anybody else? What are we doing? We lose some people? Yeah, I had 13 people on here. We got 4 more minutes and it's 1 hour video. I'm trying to keep it down. I don't want to go too long, but I had a lot of information to share with you guys. So I'm going to be on for 4 more minutes, and then I'm going to end the stream to give you the update of what's going on. As soon as that gets here, the urethane, I'm going to do that mold. Then I got to let that cure for 16 hours. All right. Then I'm going to put foam inside that master copy. There'll be a foam copy, foam-filled copy. All right. And I'll probably have to core that foam out, because I think that urethane's a little stiffer than latex, but definitely stiffer. So, and my ears are itching. So once I have that urethane master cured after about 16, it takes a day. Then I'm going to make another plaster mold. I'm probably going to make a couple plaster molds. This way I can keep it in production. I think the larger mask is going to sell more than the smaller mask. And here's the reason. I'm going to show it one more time on here to close out this video. On the mask, all right, from the peak of my head right here, I can feel just about where the top of my head is. I'm going to go, all right. Now I'm pushing up into my jaw a little bit, right where my throat is, because I got a little flab here. All right, from the peak of my head, I need to put this tape measure down straight across my nose, all right, down across my lips, and down right underneath the chin, right where my neck comes into my jaw. All right, now let's do that. It's funny how you can almost feel exactly where the top of your head is perfectly. It's right there. I already know this measurement, but I'm going to do it just to show you. This is how it has to be. All right. You see where I got the tape pushed on, right underneath the jaw, right where it comes into play. That measurement on me is 14.5 inches. All right. The large mask is 15 inches, which fits me perfect. The small mask is 14 inches, which is tight on me. All right. So if that measurement, that's the measurement I need. I don't need circumference, because that's without a doubt. It's going to be larger up here, but that's okay, because what it'll do is if you get the large mask, it just makes your eyes sunk back further in the mask. Still lines up perfect with your eye cuts, but your eyes won't be as noticeable. They'll sink further back into the mask, which is better, I think. So, with that being said, is if your head from that distance, measuring that distance, is any bigger than 14 inches, it has to be under 14 inches. All right, the small mask is 14 inches, that measurement, and the large mask is 15 inches. I'm at 14.5, so it fits perfect. The reason why this happened is because the original sculpture was done on an Ed head. I don't know if you guys know what an Ed head is, but it's an armature. It's a very elongated armature. It has a very long face, but it's meant to sculpt on to fit adult human male heads. And the proportions are correct for 80% of the people. William Shatner's face from here to here is very short. It's not as elongated as most people's. All right, this distance right here is very short, from the tip of his nose to underneath of his chin, and I had to cut away a lot of that chin. Now, if that clay, when I cut that away, I cut that away on a hollow head. It wasn't on the armature. If it had been on the armature, I would have ran into that plastic. That's how short I had to make that to make this look right. Because if you look at the sculpture or you look at the finished product, it looks accurate now. To the flashback, how it's supposed to look. If I elongate that area, it's not going to look like the flashback mask. It'll look like a Nick Castle stretch version of the flashback mask. And that's not what we want. We need that to look like this. Now, if it fits you differently, so anybody that orders a mask for me, the first question I'm going to tell you, and first thing I'm going to tell you is measure from the peak of your head to underneath of here. If you fall under 15 inches, or if you're above 14 inches, you need the large mask. If you're under 14 inches, you need the small mask. So that's important. I covered this already earlier, but I wanted to show you one more time because I need to reiterate the fact and very important that we need that measurement from people, because the mask fits differently than the original mask. The original 78 mask is so much different than the actual Shatner versus the flashback. The flashback's different. It is. And the only way I could have made that proportion look right is making the head even wider. To make the chin longer, I would have had to make the head even wider. Now think about that. It's already 25.5 inches to clay sculpture. There's no way to fix that proportion without making the top portion of that head much bigger. So to elongate that face, but still make it look short in this area. Very difficult, man. It's a very difficult. That's why I think this mask is the most difficult mask in the world to make, to replicate. Duplicate. Let me say, if you're going to try and duplicate it, which is next to impossible, very difficult. And here's my theory, and this is why I think this is true. This was sculpted on a life cast armature of the actor. Whoever the actor was, his face was perfect. And they sculpted it to follow this guy's face. And of course it was going to be 2 inches bigger all the way around. That's just like you do on the armature. You make sure, like if you'll take a piece of all right, let's say we want to make that depth of the clay that thick, right there, 1.5 inches. Let's say I'm going to guess it's 1.5 inches. I'll put a mark on that thing like that, and when it was on the armature, the original armature, the head, when I put the clay all around it and I had it all balanced, I kept taking it wasn't this, it was a needle that was like it would piercing, and I would pierce that clay and make sure that the depth was like that everywhere, to make sure that my depth was perfectly that thickness all the way around the head. Now, with that being said, I had the perfect depth all the way around the head to match the head. The problem was William Shatner's head is not shaped like the head. Yeah, the bottom line is no matter what that large size, no matter what the diameter is, all right, this here, it's important. It's a little bit looser on top of the head. But you can also, if it's too loose on the top of your head, you could just take, some foam padding, all right? And you can either use silicone, because silicone will stick to, like, silicone, not silicone caulking. The silicone that sticks, adhesive, silicone adhesive. And silicone some foam pads inside the mask to tighten it up around this area. But what I think is important is you don't want your eyes like literally right at the face of the mask. It's better when the eyes are sunk back further. And if the mask is, if you're wearing the small mask, your eyes are literally, let me just do it again, screw it. I got the small mask. Is this following me still? Yeah, it is. I'll be damned. It's still working. You know what? Let me grab this over here. Not that one. No, not that one. Yeah, I'll use this one. This is the small mask. The one behind it's the large mask. Get my feet. That one's the large mask. This was the small mask. Now what happens is, let me see if I can do this. Now my eyes are kind of like right there. But see, this is pulling down here because this distance between here and here on Shatner is short compared to, and even on the sculpture of the life cast, is much shorter. The nose is a little too long on this sculpture, but I had no choice because it was taken off of it was taken off of an Ed head. There's something in my eye. Damn it. All right. But I don't know what that looks like on camera. You guys comment. Tell me what you think. This is the 24.5-inch mask. Now I fit here, a little bit of room, but not much. But in here, because I narrowed the jawline when I did the sculpture, is really pushing out and pulling because I shortened the chin and I narrowed this jawline. So it's real tight right here and here. Real tight, and it's pulling the mask down. I don't know what the eye cuts look like because I didn't actually photograph myself with it on. But now let me put the other one on. The 20, I'm going to say 25.5-inch mask. Especially Thorburn, talking to you mainly because all right, the 25.5-inch mask, you have more room this way, all right? But look how much further my eyes are now. And you can see the gap is closed back here. All right? My eye cuts are further back. My eyes are like literally that far back into the mask, from my thumb to the tip of my finger. I don't have a lot of room here. You can see I'm pushing. A little bit more up here. Tight back here, because you want to keep your head to the back of the mask so your eyes aren't up here. If I do this, you know, that looks like shit. But if I do this, it looks good. Now these masks don't look good right now because they haven't been painted or haired. But once they're painted and haired, these things are going to look so, they're going to look good. And the other thing too, my chin's right here. Look, right there. That's my chin. I'll touch my chin to show you what I'm touching. All right, this is my jaw, right there. Not a lot of play. All right, so Thorburn, we already discussed, we have almost the same size head. I recommend the larger mask for you. Trust me. Trust me on that. Now, when I was touching that chin, I was touching right here. That's how I was touching that chin. It was right there, right on the button. So, okay. Come on, comments. Come on through. I need some comments. What's your thoughts? But you're going to have to measure. You're going to have to get one of these tape measures, and you can't use a metal one. You got to have a tape. You got to have one of these fabric ones. You can get them on Amazon. They're cheap, man. You just look for sewing a sewing measuring tape. I got this one here. I got 2 of them on Amazon, exactly like they're almost like a leather or a plastic on this, and it's neat. This one has one side is inches, the other side is centimeters. So you can measure that way too. Oh, centimeters. What do they call them? Millimeters? Millimeters. Millimeters, not centimeters. And it's important. The difference is very important, because the one thing I definitely don't want to do is sell somebody a mask or give somebody a mask, and then they send it back to me and they say, "Oh, it doesn't fit. It's too tight." Da 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 da. And the reason this mask is so different and it's so hard to sculpt, to get the perfect size. The reason why it's so difficult yeah, I think I wouldn't steer you wrong with the large size. I think the large size is the way to go. Damn it, something got in my eye when I was inside that mask. Pissed me off. Yeah, Thorburn, we have the same head size. We have the elongated chin a little bit, but most people don't know their head size, and I mean, I didn't know it until I started doing mask making, you know. But the reason why this mask is so difficult to sculpt is because they did the sculpture on somebody's life cast. I think that's true. I think that I'll swear to that. It was done on a life cast. Whose head? Who knows? It might have been the actors. It might have been somebody else's. But they sculpted this mask on somebody's life cast. Hold on. Yeah, it'll give you more room too, Thorburn. The larger mask will give you a little more room. I think that's a better mask to go with. Anybody that has, but that's the main measurement. It's not the diameter, because the diameter it's really not pushing that much. It's not. I don't have a lot of play in the forehead inside that larger mask. I have a lot of play up in here, I noticed, but that's not where the mask is resting anyway. The mask is resting right up here on your head. But there's a little more play from here to here. There's a little more play in the head because of the shape of the face. And there's more play all in the face. You're going to have a lot more play up in this area. Down here, it's nice and snug, which is perfect, because what happens is your head sits inside the mask, and it's sitting against the back side of your head, all right? And your chin is fitting in that large mask nice, all right? If you're and the jawline is perfect with the large mask. Here you go, Thorburn. There's something else that you can test to know whether or not the jawline is going to work for you. Measure right underneath of your ear, right? Let me show you this. All right? Right underneath your earlobe, where your jaw starts. Take that measure, go across your chin, and go right to the other earlobe. Wait a minute. Across your jaw. That measurement on me is 11.5 inches. See if you're the same. 11.5 inches. And I think the master. Well, let me show you. Let's take a look at how accurate the master copy came out. I mean, it looks so good. This mask right here This came from the master copy. That stone mold that I'm getting ready to urethane. This is what came out of that mold. Look how good that mask looks. Yeah, that measurement, if it's 11.5 inches, you're right on the same, you're the same exact same head size. If it's shorter, you're going to have a little bit more room. If it's a little longer, it's going to be a little tighter in your face. But this piece is nice, man. I can't wait to get this in urethane. Once that's urethaned, man, we're going to have ourselves a nice mold. My tracker's still on? Yes, it is. It's still working. I don't know why it kept cutting off. I think after a certain period of time, it starts to... I covered the tracking device on this video earlier on. Anyway, yeah, damn it. Do you guys, I get dry here. I get a lot of, yo, Pipe Master, what's happening, man? I covered a lot in this video. You're going to have to watch this video again because I covered the mask. I covered my new tracking device that's now on my camera so I can track while I'm streaming live. And it's still too damn misty and rainy outside. I can't. I wish I could. I'd be painting out there right now. The problem was not yesterday. Yesterday, my sister's birthday, and August 19th. She was born in '76, bicentennial baby. So she turned 49, and so they had their birthday party here, which was nice. I liked it. It was fun. So we had the birthday party here yesterday. So I really couldn't do anything yesterday because it kind of like disrupted the day right in the middle, like noon, 1 o'clock, something like that. That's when it started. So I couldn't get into any heavy projects. But the day before yesterday, I attempted painting one of the masks. And it was an older mask because I wanted to make sure that the weather was going to allow me to dry, that the latex was going to dry. But it was raining and misty, and it was a little windy, and the paint wouldn't dry. And I'm like, nah, I'm not doing this to one of the good masks. No way, because then you got to wipe it off. And so I'm going to get this studio fixed up for the winter time for sure, because I need to be able to paint inside here. Over here, I got my paint booth, and I'm going to have all that put together. Yeah, I know, but you got to remember, Pipe Master, the difference is I'm surrounded by water. There is a huge difference. We get a little bit more foggy or a little bit more mist. It's different down here. You know, Philly, it could be 112 degrees up there, and we're right by the water, so we're at 85 or 80 degrees. And then days like when we get fog banks or any kind of misty, that hurricane's really causing chaos along the shoreline as far as tides go. But we're getting those outer bands of the storm, and it gets windy, and then it goes away, and it gets windy, and it goes away. Now today it's doing that, so I'm kind of like, that mask is going to fit you nice, man. So I don't know. The latex doesn't want to dry in the moisture. That's for sure. The latex paint, and I can't do the layering. I don't want to put a heat gun on it because the heat gun can warp and distort the mask. especially if I have to leave it really stay on there any real length of time. You need that dry weather. You need some dry weather. So tomorrow, today, hopefully the urethane comes. Most people are going to need that larger mask. Most people need that larger mask. I think the jawline is different. That's the thing. 11.5 inches from underneath of your earlobe across your chin and back up underneath your ear. That's what we just measured. It came to 11.5 inches. Thorburn has the exact same head size as I do. All right. And then I also measured from the very peak of my head right down the center of my face, across the bridge of my nose, down underneath my chin, right to my throat, which is right about here. I push in a little bit. All right. Push in right there with the tape measure. And I'm at 14.5 inches. The mask, the large mask, is 15 inches. The small mask is 14 inches, that measurement. If your measurement is 14 or under, I would say to be safe, it needs to be 14, a little bit under 14, like 13 3/4. If you're under 14 inches, you can wear the small mask. If your measurement from your earlobe to jaw across the chin is 11.5 inches, or say, I don't know what that would be on the mask. There's no way to really tell. Actually, I can measure it. Let me measure that real quick. I can tell you right now. The small mask. That measurement from underneath that earlobe across that chin. Gotta keep it loose. I'm going to say right there, 20. Yeah, that's 9.5 to 10 inches, somewhere in there, because that's loose, so it's hard to really get it real accurate. It's like 9.5 to 10 inches on the small mask, which makes it very tight on a guy like me. It's very tight in the jaw and chin area. Up here, it's loose. It's not loose. It's snug. Fits perfect. 24.5 on the inside. But yeah, the small mask, you have to have. Can't go by the circumference on its own. The 24.5 inches. What the 25 does for you, it's weird. You'll fit perfect in the jaw and in the chin, perfectly. The top of your head will be a little bit more loose, not a lot, not flammable, but your head will go back further in the mask, and it'll make your depth in your eye cuts further back, so which makes it nicer for not seeing your eyes. You won't be able to see somebody's eyes very well. So I think that's the bonus. But I have to have the large mask. I can't have the small mask. So Pipe Master, you still with us? So I have a tracker for my phone now. Oh, it shut off, didn't it? No, it's still on. Okay. Whew. Put my hat back on. I look goofy. I look like Curly. So yeah, that's pretty much it, guys. I've been on longer than I was supposed to be on. 85 minutes. You guys need to check out this video from start to finish. I talk about the new tracking thingamajig that I have on my phone that you can now I can now, like, it tracks me without, and I can do it live. It's a lot of info. I did give a lot of info today. I shared a lot of information, good stuff too. If you, especially if you're you're wanting to get into mask making. I don't reveal other people's secrets that they share with me. I only share the secrets that I learn on my own, and it's for the channel, and it's also because I want to encourage people to do this kind of stuff too, because it's fun. God knows, man. Don't know how much longer we're going to be able to do any of this with AI. I showed on this video. I showed the what I'm doing with AI. Also, Thorburn. I don't know if you came on when I was doing that. Pipe Master. I showed the songs and stuff that I'm creating. And I'm going to be sending everybody their version so they can use it on their YouTube channel, showing off the mask. It also advertises custom corpses, which is great. But it'll specify Thorburn's mask, or it'll specify Pipe Master's mask, and in the style of music that you like. Let me show Pipe Master. Are you still on with me here, Pipe Master? Because I want to show you this song. I don't want to go there. Okay, here's Pipe Master. One of. All AI created. All AI created.
A masterpiece born from fear's bite.
Love that part. Ooh, got a little Ozzy feel there. Love that. Yeah. That's badass. I love it. Now, see, I'm not a real big metal guy, but you know, the more I mess around with this AI, the more I'm starting to really appreciate more of the metal than I do the other stuff, especially for this type of business. I think metal just suits it so much better. Or hard rock, classic rock, that works. I don't think dance or funk or disco or any of that shit works with this kind of theme. So I think from now on, I'm going to surround my mask production and videos and throw a harder edged rock feel. Yeah, baby, that's the way it feels for me anyway. Let me see, what else do I have on there? Since I'm pretty much done talking about everything that we covered, do I have anybody else's? Like I have. Let me see what this one is. I'm going to do a quick little. Like this one here.
Machine hearts beat but never rest. Stitched up souls in iron vests. Sparks fly.
A little funky.
No room for regret. Wires tangled. What did we get? Custom corpses, ultralight. That was still carved with strife. We're alive but barely right. Who's the master in this fight? Oh. Fingers twitch with electric fire.
I like this one the best.
Also beers we never tire.
Welcome to Custom Corpses. DJ Styles has created a masterpiece. The Ultra Flashback Michael Myers mask, called the Ultra FB78. The sculpture has been retooled countless times to try and get it as screen accurate as possible. Every detail has not been overlooked. He painstakingly sculpted to give you the most accurate flashback mask as possible. From the opening scene in the movie Halloween, kills, you will have so much fun scaring those trick-or-treaters this Halloween. And for those of you collectors that want Michael to stare at you from your display case, he will not disappoint and put a chill up your spine. Remember, Michael Myers is always watching you. Michael Myers is always watching you.
What do you think of that, guys? That's going to be on the website as an introduction. Let's see, what else we got?
Corpses. DJ Styles created a masterpiece, the Ultra Flashback Michael Myers mask, called the Ultra FB7 hit. This sculpture has been retooled countless times to try and get it as screen accurate as possible. Every detail has been painstakingly added to give you the most accurate flashback mask as possible. From the opening scene in the movie Halloween, use will have so fun scaring those trick-or-treaters this Halloween. Will have so fun scaring those trick-or-treaters this Halloween.
Yeah, there's all kinds of, like, you can do so much with that AI stuff. It's amazing. It is a lot of hard work, though. Yeah, there's all kinds of, like, you can do so much with that AI stuff. It's amazing. It is a lot of hard work, though. All right. Yeah, we're getting that endless loop of sound because what happens is you keep hearing the yeah, I love the intros. They're going to be cool. I have to refine them a little bit better. Like the one where it says 78, it doesn't enunciate the 7 correctly. So I'm going to have to spell it out 70 and not put a number 7. That's the key. You can't use numbers because you need to spell out the actual name when you're doing, like like if it says 78, I got to spell 70 and then 8. You know, so enunciates. But they were the early ones. That's when I first started working with this software. That was the first initiation to, like, you know, learning how to use it. I'm getting better at it. And the more I learn, the better I'm going to get. And I've been working with that as well a lot. While I've been doing different things, I'm also working on this stuff because that I intend to send those little drops, personalized drops and songs to the people that buy or got the free mask. When you got one of my masks, you're going to have that personalized song that you can use on your YouTube channel, you know, as a gift. Oh yeah, well, I mean, that goes for anything. All right, so here's my theory on AI. It's going to destroy a lot of jobs, but it's also going to create new jobs. It's up to the people to, okay, I need to go back to school, I need to do something, I need to learn how to do, you need to evolve. You have to evolve. That's just the way it's going to have to be. People that don't want to change, they just want to keep on living the way they live and never change their lives and just keep staying in that box that I talked about earlier. You don't evolve as a person. You don't evolve as, you know, you got to kind of go with the flow. So AI is going to destroy a lot of jobs, and it's also going to create a lot more jobs. And it's going to be specified in specific type of careers, I think. So my son's, he does a lot of computer, he works on computers, and, you know, half-ass engineer is what he is. I want to say he's not full-fledged engineer yet, but he's almost there. But the thing is, he evolves as he's seen this coming 5 years ago, the AI stuff, and he's been studying it, working with it, and he's already, bang, man, he's on top of all this stuff. But people that live in a box, that don't want to change nothing, they just want to continue to do what they do for the rest of their lives, just the way they do it, and no different, they're the ones that are left behind. They really are. taking Thorburn? You taking lessons from Asylum? Was it Asylum or Takeoff Vision? It's Takeoff Vision or Asylum, one of the two. With the crazy jokes. I always get them two mixed up. I don't know why. But Takeoff Vision or Asylum, one of the two. I don't think it's Asylum. I think it's Takeoff Vision with the crazy jokes. So I know Pipe Master's working right now, so he can't stay on with us consistently. Well, one of them always has jokes. I like it. I like it. Some people get annoyed. I don't get annoyed. I take everything with a grain of salt. I got very, 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 very thick skin. Nothing offends me. Don't give a shit. When you get to that point in your life, when you don't give a shit, you don't give a shit. And it's a good place to be, and I'll tell you why. Because nothing offends you. Nothing bothers you. They can say whatever the hell they want to say. I don't care. Free speech. Have at it, baby. Call me an asshole. Call me this. Call me... I don't care. My skin's very thick. Don't give a damn. And I grew up in a way different time where you had to have thick skin. You know, we didn't get offended on every little thing that we did. We laughed at it. I was talking about old TV shows and how people get so offended on the slightest little things. And if you were to watch Archie Bunker or even the Jeffersons back in the day, man, they were always saying extremely offensive stuff. But we laughed at it. Jesus. Yeah, it is. It is definitely political correctness is where it all lies. Political correctness is where it started. They created political correctness to keep people divided. That's really what it's about. Make you fight with the people around you, whether you're right, left, Democrat, Republican, liberal, conservative. They want you to stay divided. The reason why is because then they can keep getting away with what they do. And nobody holds them accountable. So I'm not going to get into the politics, but that's where the truth is, guys. That's the real truth. So the more division that they can create and the more people stay divided, the more power you give them. Just so you know that. Just think about that. So even if you are racist in real life, you're feeding into you're giving them power by being that. Don't be racist, man. Who cares what color we are? Who gives a damn? We all bleed red. Don't buy into that bullshit. And don't buy into any of that political correctness or that wokeism crap. I'm sorry, I'm not buying into it. And I just gave you the specific reasons why. And I think that if people woke up, real woke, being really woke, they would see the evil that's amongst us. That do this to keep us divided. Just remember that, guys. I don't have hatred towards any race. I really don't. If I hate somebody, it's because of who they are, not what they are. And I don't really hate anybody. I don't have that kind of strength. I just well, they're a little misguided, that's all, you know. And I'm not perfect. I don't know if I could be wrong about some things. There's nothing wrong with that. But I don't hate on somebody because of their skin color or argue with somebody because I don't hate anybody. I really don't. I don't have a hatred towards anybody. I don't. I know that's just not within my system. It's not in my being. I can dislike the hell out of somebody, but not hate somebody. Hating is like, it's ignorance in itself, hatred. You know, because it's blind hate. You have a hatred for something you really don't even don't know anything about. Anyway, let's get off that subject. Anyway, I want to end this conversation. I want to get off this, get off here, and I've covered a lot in this video of what's going on. So watch it from the beginning. Please like and subscribe. Remember to share my content. I'm sharing, things that I learn as I go along. And I've never done this urethane venture, so this is going to be a first for me too. So, but I'm not afraid of. No, I'm wrong. I did do urethane, but it was a different brand urethane. It was a different type of urethane. Yeah, no problem, Thorburn, man. You guys have a good day. Stay safe. I got to get to sealing this stone mold. That's what I'm going to do today. That I can do. I'm going to take it outside and seal it up. I'm going to paste wax it. Get it ready for the the urethane rubber. And I want it to dry pretty good before I need it to dry pretty good. Seal it and let it dry. So I have the latex foam filled from that, so I can always make another, but they're all going to be small masks. That's why I don't like it. So I'm going to have to figure it out, man. I wonder. I'm thinking outside the box here, guys. Here's where I live. Outside the box. What if I'm gonna have to find out if urethane will stick to latex. If it doesn't stick to latex, and even if it does, is there a release agent that I can put on the? No, that wouldn't do me any good anyway. Nope. Never mind. I can make I'm thinking if I take urethane and stick it to urethane, but put a release agent on the urethane master first, so it releases. I can make an inverted urethane copy. In other words, I can have you know how my silicone masters are? It gives you so I can pour up clay heads. Well, if I had a urethane master, just like the silicone ones, I can still make clay heads from that urethane copy, but I don't know if the clay sticks to urethane. That's something I have to find out. But all right, guys. Peace, everybody. I'm going to jump off of here. Now this thing stopped tracking me. Huh. Already. But, all right, guys. I'll see you on the next video. Bye-bye.